Welcome to Ask Wardee, another week of Ask Wardee. Today we're going to make healthy, mild-tasting mayonnaise. Got the beginnings of it right here with an egg yolk. This is a question that came in from Deb, and Deb on Instagram actually submitted the question last week. Deb, you're going to get a free mini e-course because we're featuring your question on the air. Deb's question. I have a question I'd love for you to address. How to make a good, wholesome mayo using avocado and or other newer oils, and what is the healthiest to eat? What equipment do you use, or just a good hand and a whisk? Thank you, Deb. Deb, thank you for your question. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to give you the basic recipe for mayonnaise, and then you can take it whatever direction you want. We will discuss the healthiest oils, and I'm going to give you some other troubleshooting tips too. But the basic recipe for mayo is emulsifying egg yolks that are at room temperature with oil. And you flavor it however you'd like. I have mustard and salt, apple cider vinegar here, but people do a little bit of sweetener if they like those sweetened mayos from the store that they're coming off of. Basically, that's the general formula. And I'm going to show it to you as we make this mayonnaise, okay? First, I want to tell you what oils to use. Well, any liquid oil or a melted solid oil, like you can melt coconut oil, is going to work for mayonnaise. But Deb is asking which are the healthiest oils, and she's asking to address the newer oils. And newer, I think, means like maybe modern food industry. Avocado oil is one she named. Well, what we prefer to use are healthy traditional fats and oils. And avocado oil, which I have right here, may be new on the scene in terms of we have it available as an oil, but avocado is a very, very old food that's very healthy for us, just like extra virgin olive oil, just like coconut oil. So those are really the oils I prefer to use for the majority of our sauces and things such as mayonnaise. And you always want to look for the highest quality you can. It should be expeller or cold pressed. Avocado and extra virgin olive oil are pressed using age-old methods that you can be confident in. You buy a good quality coconut oil, it's going to be expeller or cold pressed, or sometimes they use kind of a centrifuge. Those are the oils that are best for mayonnaise. However, flavor comes into play because coconut oil and extra virgin olive oil impart stronger flavors, and a lot of people don't care for them. So avocado is nice and mild, really healthy, and gives you a great mayonnaise. And that's why we prefer to use avocado oil pretty exclusively now for our mayonnaise. I do add a little bit of toasted sesame oil, which sesame has been used in just cuisines all over the world for a long time, and that gives a really good flavor. Now, the ones you want to avoid actually are the oils of the food industry. They're the highly processed veggie oils. There's several things wrong with them. The processing denatures them. They go rancid quickly. Plus, they have a super high omega-6 fatty acid ratio. And I've talked about that in other episodes. So if you follow the links at askwardee.tv, you can read more about that. We're so far out of balance with omega-6 to omega-3 ratios, or I guess people say it the other way, omega-3 to omega-6 ratios. And those newer veggie oils are super high in omega-6 and have pretty much no omega-3. So it's way out of balance. So they should be used sparingly, if at all. Avocado oil does have omega-6s, but it also has omega-3 to balance that out. And it might not be the ideal ratio, but it's really a great traditional fat to use in things like mayonnaise, especially when you want to avoid strong flavors. So let's make mayonnaise, and then I'll give you some troubleshooting tips. So I have had egg yolks coming to room temperature here for over an hour, and the basic recipe you call for 3. I always start with 6. You know why? Because we use an abundance of egg whites in like Trim Healthy Mama and other keto dishes like the Keto Rolls that you can find at askwardee.tv. Look for the link with this episode, 128. So I always have a lot of yolks because we're using egg whites. And mayonnaise is one of those great sauces that just throw in the egg yolks. You need a minimum of 3, but sometimes I've used 12. So it's a really rich mayonnaise. It's great. And then you doctor it up. And I've got some organic stone ground mustard here. I just put a bunch in, like a tablespoon or so. Here's a half teaspoon of sea salt. Use good salt. It needs to have color. If it doesn't have any color, that means it's refined. Apple cider vinegar, about a tablespoon. And I just put some in. That gives it a nice acidic flavor. And then I've got my cup of oils here, okay? And this is mostly avocado oil with a dash of toasted sesame oil. And again, you can use whatever oils you'd like here. If you like the strong flavor of extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil are very similar in their nutritional properties. Coconut oil would be different, but you could use melted coconut oil. Now this blend, just to mix it, this can be done in a jar with a stick blender as I'm doing. You can do it in a food processor, you can do it in a blender. You can even do it in a bowl with a whisk by hand if you'd like. Deb, you don't need fancy kitchen equipment, and mayo can be done many different ways. Now, while blending, I'm gonna pour in this oil. People have told me they pour in all the oil and then blend. I tried that once and the mayo didn't emulsify, so I just take the extra time and I pour it in, but I don't have to pour it in super slowly. It goes pretty quick. See how easy that was? Mayonnaise, it emulsified. I always love to see it emulsify because every once in a while it doesn't, and I'm going to help you troubleshoot that now. But basically, here's our mayonnaise, and taste it, and it's got a wonderful mild flavor. That's what I love so much about avocado oil. Okay, so that recipe that we just did together is at AskWardee.tv. Look for episode 128, and you'll see the recipe there. So you can tweak it to your heart's content, but the basic recipe is there. Now let's talk about what if your mayonnaise doesn't work, because sometimes you pour in the oil and you're blending and it doesn't emulsify, it doesn't thicken, or it might be separated into different layers, like a sludgy layer and an oily layer. Essentially, when mayo doesn't work, it's really runny and oily. So this happens because of poor quality egg yolks. It also happens because of egg yolks that are too cold. One way to guard against this, like you just saw me do, is use more egg yolks in the recipe when you're blending, but you can't get away with poor quality eggs. That's why we love to use pastured eggs that we purchase locally. They're from happy hens that get to eat bugs and grass and are very healthy. Healthy chickens make healthy eggs, which makes really good mayonnaise. But it happens that it doesn't thicken sometimes, so all you do is, if this mixture wasn't thickened, if it was all oily, is you set it to the side, don't refrigerate it. You get another jar and you take 3 more egg yolks, and they need to be room temperature, and then while you're blending this, you're pouring this mixture into the egg yolks while blending. So you're basically just redoing the whole process, except for instead of starting with straight oil, you're starting with your liquidy mayo mixture. And that works 9 times out of 10, practically 10 times out of 10, to save your mayonnaise that doesn't work. Simply blend in more egg yolks. Okay, you also might be wondering, what do I do with all the egg whites? Like, Wardee, you're talking about using up to 12 egg yolks in this recipe. Well, first of all, I do normally use 6, but the minimum is 3. But when you're doing keto cooking or trim healthy mama cooking, there's a lot of recipes that call for egg whites. There is no need to waste. Use your egg yolks in recipes like this. Egg yolks make hollandaise sauce. Egg yolks are really good, just fried egg yolks. It's so fatty and wonderful to eat. And then use your egg whites in those other dishes. So there is no need to waste either. Uses for homemade mayonnaise. Well, this is the basis for our ranch dressing, which is awesome. And members, I gave that to you as a thank you video in June 2016. If you're a member and you don't have it, just email me and I'll give it to you. Wardee, W-A-R-D-E-E at AskWardee.tv. The other things you can do is, and I've got these recipes linked for you, or resources linked for you at AskWardee.tv. Look for episode 128. Mayonnaise is wonderful on top of our grain-free salmon patties, in egg salad, tuna salad, wild salmon salad, chicken salad, that ranch dressing I just told you about, on sandwiches, and so many other things. So give it a try. Once you get your formula right on the oils and the flavors, you'll never go back. In fact, you might even find that going to the store to buy mayonnaise, which is a problem on its own because of the ingredients and whatnot, but you might find that going to the store to buy it is more work than just simply whipping it up at home. Wasn't that easy? I mean, it took just a minute or two to make homemade mayonnaise. Thanks so much for your question, Deb. I hope that now you feel confident and comfortable to make your own mayonnaise, and please let me know how it goes. For everyone, Deb, and anybody who's watching or listening, I have an invitation for you to get 14 plus of our free ebooks and a free traditional cooking video series. It's a new package we just put together for subscribers of Traditional Cooking School. It's completely free. We have articles and recipes on pressure cooking using traditional foods, culturing dairy, sourdough, using the ancient grain einkorn, and so much more. And you can get we call it the free traditional cooking cupboard, where you can access those 14 plus books, and you can get a free traditional cooking video series. So you can get that at tradcookschool.com/yoursfree, all one word, YOURSFREE. I hope you take advantage of that. While it's available, it's completely free. And if anyone has any comments or questions about mayonnaise, your favorite ratios of oils and things to use, your favorite add-ins, I'd love to hear. The comments are open at askwardee.tv. Look for episode 128. Thanks so much for joining us for Ask Wardee today. And thank you, as I shared in an email yesterday, you have helped us reach over 1 million downloads of Ask Wardee, which is pretty exciting. As of yesterday, it was 1,132,205, I think. I typed it a bunch, so I think I remember the number. So that's really exciting, and thank you all for that. And we're here every week, Wednesdays, streaming live, or you can catch the replay and the transcript later at Ask Wardee TV and askwardee.tv. We love that you're listening, and we love sharing our love of traditional cooking and Gnalfglin's foods with you. It's really a privilege, and you bless us every day. Thanks, everyone. God bless you. Bye-bye.